Hi everyone, I'm Sydney and this is my school bus, Optibus Prime. It is a 2007 Thomas Freightliner with a Caterpillar C7 diesel engine inside of it, and I've had her for almost a year now, which is super exciting. The bus's name, as I said before, is Optibus Prime. That's inspired by the one and only Optimus Prime. If you're a Transformers fan or somebody who doesn't live under a rock, you probably have heard of Optimus Prime. And I decided to go with the name Optibus Prime because growing up, I always told myself when I made it big, when I became rich and famous, I was going to buy a whole lot of vehicles and transform them into Transformers. I was going to deck them out and make them look like the Transformers. I was going to have Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, all of them. But then it hit me one day as I was filming another YouTube video, almost actually probably exactly a year ago today. I was filming a YouTube video and the word convert slipped my mind. I could not think of, I was trying to say I'm buying a school bus to convert into my home, but what had came out instead was I'm buying a school bus to transform into a home. And I wish I still had the footage. I think I accidentally deleted it, but I mean, it was literally like a light bulb had dinged in my mind. I was like, I'm going to transform, and I was like, Transformer. I hope I can find the footage and insert it here, but if not, that's how the bus came about. At first I was thinking I'd name it like Transform or something, and then I started thinking, man, I really want Optimus Prime. I was like, or Optimus Prime, and then I was like, how can I make that? Boom, Optibus Prime. So if you are interested in my travels or the journey, as you can see, I'm at spray foam, so the bus is really just getting started. Please follow along. My YouTube channel, which you're watching right now, is It's Prime Time. I have a lot of content that I plan to post. I also have a blog, It's Prime Time. I have an Instagram, Optibus Prime, with 2 S's at the end of bus and Optibus. And I also have a TikTok, Sydny Sky, SYDNYSKY. But all that aside, why did I buy a school bus? Why am I sitting in the school bus right now? Why did I take $5,000 of my money and purchase a school bus? And long story short, I've had this dream ever since high school. I've even had it a little bit before then, but it didn't really form until sophomore year when I read the book Into the Wild in my English class. And if you don't know the book Into the Wild, it's about a man named Christopher McCandless who decides to take control of his own life. He sells everything and finds his way living by himself solo in Alaska. Of course, he meets people along the way, but at the end of the day, this man is living raw dogging Alaska in the wild, and he comes across an abandoned school bus, and he lives in the school bus until unfortunately he passes away. So the bus in Into the Wild is what really made me realize what I could do with the school bus of my own. I looked up Into the Wild school bus, la da 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 da, and looked up people living in school bus, and that's when I learned what a schoolie was. As I was doing this search about Christopher McCandless, I saw these other people who were living in school buses that actually ran on the road, unlike his bus that was, broken down. And that just opened up a whole new world to me. Since then, I've been telling people I'm going to take control of my own life, which, I've always said I was going to do, but that really was like, I finally knew the plan. I knew I could have a roof over my head doing what I wanted to do, and that's really where this all started. So yeah, how am I able to afford a school bus? You may be asking yourself, and you probably are not asking yourself. Whichever you are doing, I'm going to tell you. So in 2020, August of 2020, I started a Depop shop called Sydny Sky, which is my name, my first name and my middle name, Sydny Sky. A lot of people think it's Sedinsky, which I get it. At first glance, she may look like Sedinsky, but it's Sydny Sky. Because that is me, I'm Sydny Sky. I started off this Depop shop in August 2020 so that I could actually declutter my closet, so that I could move into a school bus and have space, because the amount of clothes I had before was just such an insane amount. I would never be able to fit all of that into a school bus. So I started off Depop just decluttering. After 2 weeks of Depop, I think I sold like 84 items in 2 weeks, which is just insane. That's like probably still one of my best weeks to date on the app. And I was like, this is money I've never touched before, money I've never seen before. I think in my first 2 weeks, I had made like $2,000, almost $3,000 in my first 2 weeks on this app. And before then, I had never really had a job. I've always just like done little side hustles on the side to make money. And the most money I'd probably ever had before was like $400. And so as I'm sitting on this new founded $2,000 just by selling my old clothing, I start looking into Depop shops and if people actually do this full time, and that's how I fell into the world of reselling. And since then, reselling has been my full-time job on top of school, on top of bus work. All of this has been funded by my Depop shop. I have a few other ways that I make money now, but mostly from Depop and reselling, which has really been a blessing, and I hope to continue it on the road. A big portion of this build has been surrounding how am I going to store an inventory of vintage reselling items. And so I'm excited to show you guys what I've come up with for that. So there's a lot about me you may not know, but I'm here to tell you. So if you want to follow along, just hit that subscribe button. You know all of my socials. You know where to find me. I'm an open book, people. Come on, ask me questions. You know where to find me. Don't know who I'm talking to because it's really just a camera in front of me. I don't know who's supposed to ask these questions right now. So where do I see this bus taking me? I'll answer that literally and figuratively. Literally, my very first stop, I plan to be Disney World, and from there, I'll just explore the rest of Florida. I think Florida is one of the places that, surprising to most people, is one of the places I'm most excited to go to, just because, you know, Florida does have Disney, but Florida also has just amazing wildlife. And at the end of the day, you know, my bus is a really big chapter of my life, but I see like my final chapter in life really having to do a lot with animals, wildlife conservation. I really want to open up my own wildlife sanctuary, so while I'm on the bus, I will be saving up for land in the future so that I can open up my own wildlife sanctuary. I love animals, and Florida just has amazing wildlife. I love alligators, I love crocodiles, and I just look forward to seeing that in everyday life. Of course, you know, I might not see an alligator every day, especially in places like Orlando, but I do plan to travel and see as much of the wildlife as I can, because snakes and crocodiles and alligators is all what got me into wildlife. So I'm excited to go to Florida for that. But on top of that, the beach, girl. I cannot wait to go to the beach. I want the sand on my toes, the salt in my hair. Ooh, okay, maybe not the salt in my hair, but I just love looking at blue body of water. I'm excited to go to the Keys. I know that's really hard in the bus, and unless, you know, there's not really that much boondocking in the Keys. I think it actually might be illegal there, but I'm gonna find a way to live affordably in the Keys for some time. You know, I'm manifesting it. I see it happening for me. I really want to spend time in Florida Keys. So, yeah. So figuratively, I see this bus opening up a lot of doors for me, a lot of opportunities, just letting me live my life the way I want to live, trying things I've never got to do or would have ever been able to do with, you know, a very consistent kind of at-home job. I would love to dip my toes into the world of theater, acting. I would love to be a beekeeper for some time. I want to get into scuba diving. Just a whole lot of things that I really want to do, but I was afraid if I had really just continued the life path that I had been on, I would have never really been able to do. And I think one of the things that really hits me the most is I've had a lot of people come look at the bus. A lot of people give quotes on work on the bus. Like, for instance, I had 3 different people come quote the bus for my spray foam installation, and every single last person who came on here to quote the bus had said, man, I wish I had done what you were doing at your age. And when people say that, my heart breaks for them, because, you know, you always want to tell people it's never too late, but sometimes, you know, that's easier said than done. And when people tell me this, it makes me sad, but it also just really makes me happy and proud of myself that I did take the leap, and I am in this position now, and I am able to go through with it. So I could go into a little bit more detail on like the figuratively what I think this bus will allow me to do, but I think you will see that through the progression of my YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching, for hopefully subscribing. Please like this video, because I do not know anything about the YouTube algorithm yet, but every single YouTuber I watch says like this video, so I think it's important. So if you could do that for me, that would be amazing. Comment. Oh, okay. if you're still here, comment what you would add in a bus if you could. Like if money was not a question, weight wasn't an issue, what would you build in the school bus that would just like blow people's minds? Or just be something comfortable for you. Like for instance, for me, I knew I needed a shower. So thank you again, and I will be posting videos from now on, so stay tuned. Thank you. Bye. All these people keep driving past me and they're watching me on the naked. And I'm going to probably bleep that out.
There's actually one of the local school buses driving past me right now. You'll see it right there.
Ooh, child, do not get me started on these. Oh! This tank cost me like $400 to fill up, but that's okay because it's the life I chose. It's the life I chose.
But when you were a kid, did like your bus driver always like wave at the bus driver that was driving past you? Because they do that to me now. Even though my bus is literally like a white gray color, like I'm not a school bus driver, but they still wave to me like I am, and it just makes me feel like I'm part of the family.